Welcome back to Zinematic Gaming. Today we will talk about Rue Valley. This is one of the very first titles Owlcat Games will publish under their banner. Currently there is no release date. This is a story-driven RPG that's a lot like Disco Elysium. I like Disco Elysium and, story-driven titles, so I applied for access and started playing this week. Keep in mind, this is a public playtest, which you can also apply to. In this video, I will tell you my experience from playing the game and what I felt, and you can make a decision based on that. As soon as you open the game, you are greeted by the beautifully designed main menu. You can see it mentions it is still in its alpha phase. The first thing you come across when you click New Game is to define your character's personality. This is where you build the type of person you want to play as. On the left, there is impulsive, introverted, and sensitive. On the right, there is calculated, extroverted, and indifferent. These personalities also have sub-personalities. For example, you can be a secretive introvert or an awkward introvert. However, if you do not like to be on the spectrum, you can create a balance and land somewhere in between resolute, ambivert, and mindful. These choices will matter from the moment you start your journey in the game world, as they give you access to many different dialogue options and reactions. The game is very dialogue-heavy, which you will see in a moment. When you are done defining your personality, the screen will show you a time. This is important because there is a time loop twist in the end. I'd say that the time loop mechanic is the selling point of the game. The protagonist is an unmotivated individual named Eugene Haro. In the beginning, I am in a therapy session, which my character did not want to attend. This is like real life. I also chose the most arrogant, uninterested choices available to me during this dialogue to let the therapist know I did not need this session. I was made to attend this session because of a condition. The game does not explain what this condition is during my short playing time, nor did I discover who made me attend this stupid session. There is an inner monologue that goes inside my head explaining the situation I'm in. The characters are voice acted, but the protagonist is not. Once the session was done, I went outside and found out this chamber was in the middle of nowhere. There's the motel I am staying at and a bus station, but that's about it. I saw a frustrated lady kicking the vending machine. You can choose to interact with her or ignore her. I chose to get nosy and observed her for some time. There was an option to talk to her, but I did not have access to it because of my lack of motivation. Talk about art imitating life. After that, I went to the motel office to get my room key, and this is where I started to get bored. The receptionist did not give two farts about my request and kept talking on her phone. You can highlight interactive objects with the right mouse, but there is not a lot to interact with in this game. In Disco Elysium, you can leave conversations, go outside the room, interact with a lot of stuff. You are not bored in situations. But that's not the case here. She kept showing me her middle finger, and the repeated animation made me annoyed. Dullness began to set in. I could not go outside this office until the receptionist was done talking, and felt really congested. The game justifies this by saying she will start another call if I do that. I had the option to look outside the window or scroll the feed on my phone. After a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time, passed, I got the key and went to my room. Before falling asleep, I got a call from someone asking me about my unexplained condition. Something interesting happened during this conversation. When I told him I was in Rue Valley, he told me he did not know where this true valley is. This was where I started to question whether this place was real or not. After that, I fall asleep and interact with my dreams and memories one by one. There is the recent memory of the receptionist yapping and some distant ones. I hear the sound of rain outside when I wake up. A person crashes his car outside and drives away. As I start climbing down, ominous music starts playing. Something is about to happen. Suddenly, the night sky turns red and I feel an infinite scream passing through everything. This is that time loop mechanic taking place. I close my eyes and wake up in the chamber sitting for a session. The doctor mentioned this is my first session, as he said during my last session. I came outside and find that same woman kicking the vending machine. Overall, Rue Valley does have potential, but it lacks a certain kick. For example, when starting Disco Elysium, you have the murder mystery taking place from the very first moment. The protagonist was kind of a loser in that game too, but I had the motivation to investigate this mystery. Here I too felt unmotivated along with the protagonist. The map was also a little more interactive and invited you to take a look, whereas Rue Valley does not have that from the get-go. From my short playing time, I cannot judge whether this game is worth it or not, as it does pick up after a while and has its moments, for instance, the phone call with the unknown person who does not know where True Valley is, or the car crash. The time loop mechanic will also offer a unique experience in the full release. Characters are really well voiced. The music and sound design are amazing, and the art style is very beautiful, even in this alpha state. I would say if you like dialogue-driven adventures, you should take a look at the game on Steam. Comment, like, and share this video if you have anything to think about or say, and subscribe to the channel.